this into something positive and maybe it'll spread.
He's the most positive person on his job.
Now you're cured.
I feel good.
Welcome to Positively Milwaukee. I'm Carol Meekins. This week we're going to feature a Milwaukee man who's known around town for getting people to strike a pose. And his love of picture taking puts smiles on hundreds of faces and gives him an important purpose in retirement.
Snap it and shoot. That's all you do. Just take the picture and always have a passion for what you do.
It's not every day you find a private home with its own photo gallery, but that's what you find when you visit Robert Bell in Milwaukee.
I never did really like school, but I went down to MATC, and I had a friend that was like in visual communications. He told me to start taking pictures. So that's how I started it.
Photography has always been Bell's love. Before retiring, he held down several jobs in Milwaukee County.
I worked as a nursing assistant. I worked as an audiovisual technician, and then I was a juvenile correctional officer at the county.
This 70-year-old admits his passion is photographing people. His work has been featured in the Milwaukee Community Journal, the Milwaukee Courier, and the Milwaukee Times. His walls are lined with pages of Milwaukee history.
Something that I love to do. I just love taking pictures. I love it with all my heart. I love being a blessing. And I love that people like their pictures taken. It's nothing like it.
From local political leaders to city events, he takes pride in the moments he's captured.
I was taking pictures at the hat luncheon for years, so I love taking pictures of women in their hats, and Andrea, Lena Taylor, all of them in their hats, because them women love wearing them hats.
Bell admits he does not do this for profit or even for glory. He just delights in seeing his work appreciated.
When I worked for the Courier, I used to get front page action because I took a good picture, and the picture was on the front page of the paper. They don't credit me, but I don't have a problem with that. I just love taking pictures. That's my goal.
Bell describes how he planned snapping the right image when former President Barack Obama was in town.
Automatically trying to capture that moment. That was my mind, using the machine gun. My main goal was to get the picture and get a good picture. That was my excitement. Oh yeah, I love taking pictures of the ladies because ladies like to pose. They can pose in their hats and stuff like that. I just love taking pictures of ladies. Yeah, they take good pictures. They'll say to me, "Can I see my picture?" I say, okay, here. How you like it? It's good. I ain't got one, but I love them to death.
Though retired, Bell believes you need to constantly work on your life. Be the best that you can be. And that's why you'll find several motivational books at his home studio.
Just motivate yourself. Be your counselor. Counsel yourself and do the research on yourself.
And that spirit has helped Robert Bell nurture his true love, clicking the camera and freezing the past. He's developed not only pictures, but a deep sense of gratitude.
My purpose in life is mainly to serve God and to be the best that I can be in my craft. That's my purpose. And I thank the Lord for giving me the skill that I'm doing. I really appreciate him wholeheartedly that he did this for me.
And we appreciate you. Robert Bell admits he doesn't like to get his own picture taken because he says he's simply too picky because he likes everything to be perfect. Well, dance is a way to express your spirit and your soul, and an instructor in our area has discovered that dance can also promote life skills. Delaney Bry has the story.
Abdul Latif is helping turn these dancers into winners. It's part of the legacy that Divergent Ignite Dance Company is trying to build.
It's been a lot of competitions that I've been in since I've been on the team.
The team is looking for permanent studio space so they can display all their trophies. But in the meantime, They practice in a space donated by a local business. Dravana Kimball, also known as Coach V, is proud of how far the team has come.
Something so small just turned to something really big.
Coach V started the team when she was only 16. Most of the first members came from the Boys and Girls Club.
They all come, wanted to learn, wanted to dance, basically with the same goal, to get something positive and successful out of this. And they came to the right place.
Many of these kids come to Coach V with hardly any dance experience. Abdul didn't when he joined 4 years ago.
Being on this team really helped me grow as a whole. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now Abdul is one of Coach V's go-to dancers. He's gotten so good, he's showing the kids how it's done.
I feel like most dancers were in my position, didn't know much or are scared to get outside their box. So I feel like me letting them know if you do so, you'll grow a lot. And trust me, I grew a lot.
Coach V says there's a lot to learn from Abdul's rise to the top.
So I want them to understand that things aren't going to be easy, but y'all are stars, and you have to believe that. You have to believe that.
But those skills, that resilience, can be applied in every aspect of life. Like Abdul's plan to go to cosmetology school. His time dancing will get him through.
It really strengthened me, if that makes sense. I'm going to keep trying until it gets done.
And you have to love that. And the dancers range from kindergarten through the 12th grade. If you'd like more information about Divergent Ignite, we do have a link to the group's Facebook page. Just go to our website, tmj4.com. A local mother turns the unthinkable into something beautiful. We're going to have that story after the break. Plus, you're going to want to meet our Positively Pet of the Week. Don't go away. Welcome back to Positively Milwaukee. The death of a child is an impossible loss, and a local mother knows that pain. However, she's turning grief into something beautiful. Kristen Byrne tells us about Maddie's memory.
This workshop was once part of Hazel Jones's living room. These days, she's using it to cut down formal gowns.
They have a lot of tulle, they have a lot of fabric, especially those who are donating dresses from the 80s. For sure. They're huge. They are so big. God bless the 80s for that.
She uses the material to make burial gowns like these for babies who died too soon. Her own son, Matthew, was stillborn at nearly 21 weeks and had to be buried swaddled in a blanket.
He was only 3 ounces and was 6.5 inches long, and the hospital had nothing that fit him. I have so much guilt, especially in winter. Is he cold?
Hazel looked into it and found services that provide burial gowns, but nothing that would have been small enough for little Maddie. She set out to fix that.
So we started looking around, found sewing patterns for dolls that are about his size, that are very tiny.
And that was the beginning of Maddie's memory. Hazel made gowns, hats, quilts, and memory kits for other moms who had lost babies. She makes them in vibrant colors, and sometimes with Bucks and Brewers themes. Hazel says she knows white is more traditional, but not everyone wants it.
For some of them, it's too somber. But to have a color that celebrates their child is wonderful. I would have loved it if that had been me.
She donates them all, either to area hospitals or directly to mothers who need them.
There's so much expense comes with losing a child. The last thing you need to think about is, okay, now I have to pay for clothing. No, it's there, it's yours. Just take it.
But that means Jones relies on fundraising and donations. If you have any old formal wear lying around, Maddie's memory will happily take it off your hands. Hazel will do with that dress what she's been trying to do with her own loss.
We will turn something ugly into something beautiful.
What a wonderful idea. Now, it's not just material that Hazel needs. She could also use thread, needles, scissors, and seam rippers. And if you'd like to help her with Maddie's memory, we have a link for you on our Positively Milwaukee Facebook group. Normally at graduation, there's a salutatorian and valedictorian, but that's not the case at one Milwaukee high school. James Groh has a story of twins sharing a top honor.
For the first time ever at this Milwaukee high school, a pair of twins shares the honor of being valedictorian. We know they're brainiacs, but who do they think is the smarter twin?
Me. I am. I'm always co-valedictorian.
Meet Berlin and Brennan Wells, twins and co-valedictorians at Carmen High School of Science and Technology, Northwest.
I'm not complaining.
Oh, it just makes it that much better, though. Like, both twins, both getting co-valedictorian.
They both have 4.0 GPAs and are staying in Milwaukee for college. Brennan is going to the Milwaukee School of Engineering for computer science, and Berlin will go to UW Milwaukee for biomedical sciences. They gave each other antiderivative equations, something you'd see in a college calculus class, to solve while I filmed. I could not verify if what they were doing was right, but they seemed content with each other's work.
I'm on it. More than you are. Yes, I am.
The two studied hard to get to this point, but learning virtually for nearly a year and a half made things a lot more difficult.
You get really get distracted from a phone or a TV or anything, and it's like, if you know you could do it, just get it done.
Even though they can get competitive and don't agree on who the true valedictorian is,
yeah, he'll come up to me and be like, I'm taller than you.
It's all love between the two.
How sweet. And it does look like both Brennan and Berlin are off to do great things. That's really neat to share an experience like that with your sibling. Congratulations to both of you. Well, after high school, many students consider going off to a college or university, but the pandemic made that a lot harder. Julia Fellow tells us how the city of Milwaukee is trying to help those students with internships.
Fresh off graduating from Wisconsin Lutheran High School, 18-year-old Chloe Cunningham is ready to start her college career.
I'm going to Valparaiso in Indiana.
The communications major will spend this summer working for the city virtually. The program pivoted to help teens like Chloe work on problem-solving projects and their resume online each week.
I'll just save up some money for college.
And the teens who take part in the city program are guaranteed at least 20 hours per week and are paid at least $11.65 an hour. In 2019, Chloe interned at Villard Square Library, where she helped people find books, stack books, and help families sign up for reading programs.
I learned a lot about making time to actually schedule doing my work.
Last year, the program went virtual, which helped Chloe apply to colleges.
They have helped us with our resumes, and they have helped us with letters of recommendation.
Carmelita Biami is the program coordinator. She says teens get connected with local businesses and nonprofits to help them find work and gain experience.
They are so connected to their technology. You know, they need that practice with working with people in a community.
And as a middle school teacher herself, she sees why this program is so important.
Helps them to see you can make it. You just have to work on these specific skills.
That's a great start for Chloe, and we wish you well, Chloe, as you head off to the Hoosier State for college. Coming up after the break, meet one of Milwaukee's newest school board members who made history. But before we get to that story, let's meet our Positively Pet of the Week.
Good morning, I'm Jennifer Smea from HAWS, the Humane Animal Welfare Society, and I am really excited to introduce you to this week's Positively Milwaukee Pet. This is Tesla. Tesla is special because she is a senior cat. She's about 11 years old, and she's old enough to know what she wants and let you know, just in case you were wondering. Tesla is very affectionate, but she doesn't necessarily like to be held or cuddled. So the best way to interact with her is on her terms with a toy and just a sweet ear rub. Tesla is ready for adoption, so get the process started at hawspets.org or call us at 262-542-8851. Click on Adopt if you need more information, and come and bring Tesla home today. She would like you to invent a new life for her. Now's the time.
Welcome back to Positively Milwaukee. Public office takes time, commitment, dedication, and grit. Jilly Gokul Gandhi has all of those things, and when she won a seat on the Milwaukee Public School Board, she made history.
Jilly Gokul Gandhi is the first South Asian person elected into office to the Milwaukee Public School Board. She won her school board race by a little more than 900 votes, making history in doing so.
So I came here when I was 3 years old.
Immigrating from India to America, Jilly learned hard work from her parents, both of whom overcame polio to run a restaurant, amongst other things.
I mean, they made it work at every turn.
Like many South Asians, growing up, she never really felt seen, usually being one of the only Indian people in the room.
At home, I would have a really traditional Indian life. We'd eat Indian food, Indian customs, and then, you know, when you go out into the world and you go to school, it felt that was the very American part of my experience.
Two different worlds many AAPI students balance. According to some of the most recent MPS data, a little over 5,000 students identified as Asian, which is 7%.
I don't see women who look like me in this community running for office, and we do have a growing AAPI community in the city of Milwaukee.
So she ran for office herself.
I thought, well, why not me?
Prior to assuming office in April, Jilly worked as a community school coordinator, working with MPS educators, students, and families to advance equity and inclusion. And she tells me her purpose is unchanged.
If we're not working on everyday things that impact people immediately, and if people who look like me aren't in those roles, then we're missing a piece of the conversation.
And Gokul Gandhi is also working on a project to help instill confidence in Black and brown female students and LGBTQ students as they pursue their educations. Very nice. College prepares us for the future, but it's also a way to learn about the past. Stephanie Haynes tells us about Milwaukee high school students heading off to historically Black colleges and universities.
Mariana Thomas and Lisa Estes have been classmates at Golda Meir School since 3rd grade. In a few weeks, they graduate, and both are off to historically Black colleges and universities, or HBCUs. Mariana to Tennessee State in Nashville, and Lisa to Prairie View A&M in Texas.
I've met a lot of kids that go there. I'm Black and Asian, so I'm double minority. And I've met a few more kids who are just like me.
I always knew that I wanted to go to an HBCU. I just didn't know which one.
Golda Meir leads the district in percentage of graduates who go on to HBCUs, and Rufus King High School leads in number. Principal Michelle Carter and guidance counselor Angelique Jones Cornelius have played a big role in showcasing HBCUs to MPS students. They have set up tours and panels, most of which was virtual this past year.
In a way, more access to some college reps that necessarily wouldn't have had.
In 2019, MPS partnered with the Empower Me Tour, which awarded hundreds of MPS students with on-the-spot acceptances and scholarships to HBCUs.
As a person of color, we have a responsibility for our young men and our young women.
Both Principal Carter and Counselor Jones Cornelius were born and raised in Milwaukee and went to HBCUs themselves. And both Lisa and Mariana credit their counselor for connecting them with their future schools.
It's extra special when it is a HBCU because, again, that's out of the ordinary for our students from Milwaukee. So, again, for them to, step out on that, take that chance and do what they love to do, it's just, I don't know, the feeling is indescribable.
Just being able to work with them, watch them grow, and now to see them go off, it is the most exciting experience for me. It's why I'm in education.
Both Lisa and Mariana want to study nursing. Lisa is valedictorian, and she can't wait to walk across stage in person.
I know I'm going to cry. I really worked hard all of my life. I think, this will be a moment of, I get to relax, before I go to college.
How exciting, and good luck to all of our graduates. Now it's time for our Happy Thoughts of the Week. Our question this Sunday comes from Tyrone Dumas. He wanted to know, now that travel restrictions are being lifted, what's your dream summer vacation?
Well, we just came back from a vacation, so it was good to get out and be able to experience some things we haven't for a while. Outer Banks of North Carolina. It's a great place, a great location, miles from beach.
Italy. They have really nice culture. I like the language.
I want to head to Dubuque. I want to go to the dog track out in Dubuque. That's my dream vacation.
Trip on the space shuttle.
Tell me more about that.
It's only $125,000, but we're saving up for it. For our old age.
Truthfully, the dentist sounds pretty nice to me. I have 4 children, and so to be able to sit and have some alone time would be a huge luxury.
Honestly, probably the beach at this point, or just going on an airplane would feel really good.
I want to see a lot more of Wisconsin. It's a beautiful state, so we're going to go camping, outdoors. I think Wisconsin's the place to be this time of the year. Everybody else comes here, so why would I go anywhere else?
Well said, sir. And if you have an idea for a question we should ask next week, just post it on our Positively Milwaukee Facebook group. And thank you, Tyrone, for that. Well, do you have a favorite stuffed animal as a child? Well, memories like those are a great reason to smile this morning. A youngster in Kenosha is trying to make sure that everybody who needs one has a lovable stuffed animal of their own. So for his birthday, Hunter Peterson asked for stuffed animals. That's so he can donate them to the Kenosha Police Department. He wants officers to give the plushies to kids dealing with scary situations. He did the same thing last year for his birthday. He got 111 toys, but this year he beat his own record with 308. Nice gesture. Well, if you like beer and you like to learn how it's made, we have some good news. Lakefront Brewery is bringing back its brewery tours. They're going to be the first tours since the pandemic began. Now, you can expect a shorter tour during the week, but if you want to see more, you go on a weekend. We have all the information for you. Just go to our Positively Milwaukee Facebook group. I'll be back with my quote of the week. Those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. This week's quote comes from Voltaire, a French writer known for advocating for personal freedoms. His message is an important one to remember. When we're picking friends and partners, surround yourself with people who bring out the best in you. And if you can do that, you're going to have no problem staying positively Milwaukee. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next Sunday.